The ultimate hunting game returns. Welcome back to Movie District Recap, and today we're diving into the brutal world of Hard Target, a film that takes the concept of human hunting to deadly new extremes. This film trades the Louisiana bayous for the unforgiving landscapes of Myanmar, where retired MMA fighter Scott Adkins must survive the ultimate death game orchestrated by wealthy psychopaths who hunt humans for sport. What starts as a desperate man seeking redemption quickly spirals into a nightmarish cat-and-mouse game where the line between hunter and hunted becomes terrifyingly blurred. So buckle up, because we're about to witness a blood-soaked journey of survival, betrayal, and revenge that will leave you questioning just how far someone will go when they have nothing left to lose. Our story begins with Wes, the jailer Baylor, a once promising MMA fighter whose career and life have completely fallen apart. Scott Adkins brings raw intensity to this broken man who's haunted by a tragic accident in the ring. During what should have been a routine fight, Wes accidentally killed his opponent with a devastating blow, and the guilt has been eating him alive ever since. Fast forward to present day, and Wes is a shadow of his former self. He's struggling with alcoholism, barely scraping by with underground fights in dingy venues, and drowning in a sea of self-destruction. His relationship with his girlfriend has crumbled, his career is over, and he's basically hitting rock bottom in every possible way. But just when it seems like things can't get any worse, fate throws him an unexpected lifeline, or so he thinks. Enter Aldrich, a smooth-talking businessman who approaches Wes with what seems like a golden opportunity. Aldrich claims to represent a wealthy client who's willing to pay Wes a staggering $50,000 just to participate in what he describes as a survival experience in Myanmar. The catch? Wes has to survive in the jungle for 24 hours while being hunted by a team of trackers. To a desperate man with nothing to lose, this sounds almost too good to be true. And as we all know, when something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. But Wes is so desperate for money and a chance to escape his demons that he agrees without fully understanding what he's signing up for. The setup is presented as a legitimate business venture, almost like an extreme reality TV show or corporate team-building exercise taken to the next level. Wes is told he'll be given basic survival gear, a head start, and if he can evade capture for 24 hours, he'll walk away with enough money to start his life over. Wes is flown to Myanmar, where he meets his handlers and gets his first real taste of what he's gotten himself into. The jungle is dense, unforgiving, and filled with dangers both natural and man-made. As he's briefed on the rules of the game, we start to see that this isn't the simple survival challenge he was promised. The organizers are led by a cold, calculating man named Madden, who takes an almost sadistic pleasure in explaining the rules. Wes will be given a 6-hour head start to get as far into the jungle as possible. After that, the hunters will be released, and they'll have 18 hours to find him. If they catch him, well, let's just say the consequences aren't clearly spelled out, but the implication is terrifying. As Wes is transported to his starting position, he begins to realize that the other participants aren't just corporate executives looking for an adrenaline rush. These are hardened killers, military contractors, and wealthy psychopaths who see this as the ultimate form of entertainment. The sick realization dawns on him that he's not just being hunted, he's the prey in a twisted game where the hunters get their thrills from potentially killing him. The moment Wes is released into the jungle, the film shifts into high gear. Armed with nothing but basic survival gear and his wits, he has to navigate treacherous terrain while knowing that somewhere behind him, a team of professional killers is preparing to hunt him down like an animal. Hunters are a diverse and deadly group, each with their own specialties and methods. There's the ex-military sniper who can pick off targets from impossible distances, the tracker who can follow footprints through any terrain, and the sadistic leader who seems to enjoy the psychological aspects of the hunt as much as the physical challenge. As Wes moves deeper into the jungle, we see him tap into survival instincts he didn't know he had. His MMA training gives him an edge in hand-to-hand combat, but this is a completely different kind of fight. He has to learn to move silently, set traps, and think like both predator and prey simultaneously. The jungle itself becomes a character in the story. Dense vegetation provides cover, but also conceals danger. Rivers offer water, but also expose him to attack. Every shadow could hide a hunter, every sound could signal his doom. The first major confrontation comes when Wes encounters one of the hunters while trying to cross a river. The hunter, confident in his superior equipment and training, underestimates the desperate man he's pursuing. What follows is a brutal, visceral fight that showcases Adkins' martial arts skills in all their glory. Wes manages to kill his first hunter, but in doing so, he crosses a line he never thought he'd cross. The guilt he felt about his accidental killing in the ring pales in comparison to the deliberate act of taking a life, even in self-defense. But there's no time for moral contemplation. The sound of the fight has alerted the other hunters to his location. With his first kill, Wes also gains access to better equipment. He now has a weapon, communication device, and most importantly, he starts to understand the true nature of the game he's trapped in. This isn't just about survival anymore. The hunters, meanwhile, begin to realize they're not dealing with ordinary prey. Their quarry is fighting back with increasing effectiveness, and their numbers are dwindling. What started as a fun hunting expedition is turning into a war of survival where they're no longer guaranteed to be the victors. Just when Wes thinks he's starting to understand the game, he encounters Thar, a woman who seems to be another participant who escaped from a previous hunt. She's been surviving in the jungle for days, but has been separated from her brother. She offers to help Wes navigate the dangers ahead. Thar seems like a godsend, someone who understands what he's going through and has the knowledge to help him survive. They team up, sharing resources and watching each other's backs as they try to evade the remaining hunters. For the first time since entering the jungle, Wes feels like he might actually have a chance. As Thar asks him to follow her along the process, she opens up to Wes about her personal search for her brother. She reveals the sobering fact that Wes, like her, has become a target for the persistent assassins and has been gone for several days. As they travel together, Thar reveals that the jungle was formerly populated by many people, but a diabolical arrangement between Aldrich and the general resulted in forced evacuation. Those who refused to go became targets for wealthy hunters. Meanwhile, Aldrich mobilizes his men to pursue Wes using bikes and drone surveillance. Discovering that Wes is accompanied by a woman excites Aldrich. Now he has two prey to seek. During the chase, Wes's fighting abilities allow him to knock down two pursuers. He grabs a bike and escapes to a small shack, where Sophia attacks him with crossbow bolts. Despite her efforts, she cannot compete with Wes's MMA skills, and he incapacitates her with a well-placed kick. Wes rushes to rescue Thar, who is being held captive by Jacob and Toby. When he arrives, he discovers Thar has already killed Jacob. They flee toward the Thailand border. Aldrich tracks Wes using GPS in his bag and plants mines near the border. When Toby seeks revenge for his father's death, he charges Wes with a gun, but accidentally drops his rifle on a mine, causing a massive explosion that kills him. Wes and Thar escape to a cave where they find Thar's brother while alive. The three spend the night together, but at dawn, Wes discovers Thar and Wai have been kidnapped by Aldrich. Wes ambushes Marshall, capturing his gun and camera. He confronts Aldrich and exchanges Marshall's life for Thar and Wai's freedom. During their escape, Thar fights and kills Sophia while Wes jumps into the river to evade Aldrich. After reuniting, Thar explains she took Wes's rubies to help her displaced village people. Wes removes the memory card from Marshall's stolen camera and kept it really safe. When Aldrich discovers Marshall has been filming everything for a video game, he kills him in rage. Realizing he needs help, Aldrich requests assistance from the general's army. Wes discovers a GPS tracker in his bag and devises a plan. He gives Thar and Wai the rubies to negotiate with the general while he steals a boat to escape. At the bridge connecting Myanmar and Thailand, Aldrich drops from a helicopter to block Wes's path. Using a local child as a hostage, Aldrich forces Wes into the open and assigns 5 fighters to kill him. To Aldrich's surprise, Wes defeats them all, including a hunter named Mandan. Enraged by his team's failure, Aldrich takes aim and shoots at Wes, but Wes uses Mandan as a shield. Wes seizes the chance and charges towards Aldrich, inflicting significant injuries on him. Taking control of the situation, Wes grabs Aldrich's gun and offers him a 2-minute head start to run, as Wes is now the hunter. However, before Wes can shoot, the general and his soldiers arrive, forcing him to hesitate. Just then, Thar arrives with the rubies and presents them to the general, demanding an end to the hunter's assistance. Surprisingly, the general agrees to Thar's request, vowing to cease the terrible hunting games once and for all. However, Aldrich, motivated by his desire for vengeance against Wes, steals the general's gun in an attempt to kill Wes. However, before he can pull the trigger, the general's soldiers strike quickly, pouring a storm of bullets on Aldrich, effectively ending his life and reign of terror. Finally, Thar and Wes open a martial arts school in the woods, bringing the movie to the end. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap. If you did, be sure to check out other awesome recaps on the channel. As always, thank you very much for watching.